I'm CZG123, and this is the news. After excusing a couple of the jurors, the final 12-member jury has been selected for the Trump trial regarding Stormy Daniels' payoff. Prosecutors are trying to get contempt in court for Donald Trump in violation of his gag order. Apparently, the former president thought it'd be okay to post a tweet naming who in the courtroom he'd be able to grab by their pussy. 2 spies working for Russia were caught recently and will be facing justice if the Ukraine and Germany have their ways. The 2 were found with an empty bottle of vodka and saying loudly into a cell phone, "We are like the 007s." Speaker Johnson is having a very hard time recently. By wanting to send more support to the Ukraine, he's distancing himself from the very party which helped him get the role of Speaker of the House to begin with. While there's a push to remove him, Democrats continue to discuss Project Runway's longevity and where exactly the Biden nap room will go in the White House. Coral reefs are important to Earth's humans and water life, but given the warming oceans and climate change, many of the coral reefs are bleaching and dying. While there are some ways to save the reefs, they must be implemented quickly, certainly before Greta Thunberg yells, "I told you so." Well, at O.J. Simpson's funeral, the tension was so thick, if he were alive, O.J. could have easily cut it with a knife. Before the service itself, A.C. Collins drove O.J.'s hearse onto the highway for over an hour. Frank Tittles became the 500th man to suffer from the Viagra side effect of having an erection for over 4 hours. Doctors were able to remedy the situation swiftly by showing Tittles a picture of Marjorie Taylor Greene and by holding up Lizzo's girdle. In sports, Iran struck Israel, causing many folks to wonder how the blue and white would respond. Today, these questions were answered when Israel laid out the big smackdown. In other tournament news, just as the Ukraine started to strike back, those pesky and championship-driven Russians destroyed many homes, buildings, families, and civilians' lives. Netanyahu is hoping to get more weapons and money from their owner and general manager. However, the ownership and coaches would prefer to send more money to the Ukraine in an effort to stop manager Putin. Game 3 is expected to be held in stadiums throughout the Middle East, Russia, North Korea, and China. According to roughly 45% of Americans, the revolution will not be streaming. Studies revealed that women are living longer than men. Since girls mature sooner than boys, once adults, men are more likely to die for acting immature. Scientists pointed out that no woman has ever died by falling off a cliff riding a Segway, nor by hanging themselves while masturbating. For the news, I'm CZG123.